there must be kind of an initial agreement with the people that you're working with, especially that people who are not participants, let's say, but they are part of the documentary, or even with participants. If that negotiation was not clear at the beginning, must be clarified in the process. And that's very difficult because some people feel that they are used. Some people feel that that their words or work is going to be misrepresented. One thing that is very important since the beginning is when you're sure that you're going to have this kind of production and so on, is like have like one written agreement that people need to sign at the beginning. When you're honest, it's usually possible to connect with the people again and, have their opinion change in your favor to finish your production. So giving cameras to the people is not a bad idea, for instance. It also has ethical issues because sometimes it's misused. You can give the camera to one person and at the end still have the control yourself. Communicate like the illusion that it was like collaboration. Honesty is very important, and you can negotiate and eventually change strategies. And change who is recording, who's editing, who is doing the script, who's gonna distribute, how credits are gonna appear in the end of the documentary. That's a very challenging process because, at the beginning you have the illusion that everything fits in your mind and you can plan and the reality is gonna go that way. And if you don't see how things change and how reality tells you that things are not going according to your plan, you're gonna have finally a very bad product and probably a bad experience too, because you are forcing reality to fit in your preconception instead of negotiating with reality.
And the key word for that would be
listening and flexibility.
So sort of resilience, or?
Yeah, it can be, yes.
Mm-hmm. Like an adaptation, or?
Adaptation, yeah, that's very important. Mm-hmm. And adaptation is intelligence, right? Anyway, always there's going to be a perspective that never disappears, and ignoring that is also a problem. There's always a perspective. You're always talking about from one specific perspective. Even if it looks transparent and it doesn't look obvious, it's always like that. So subjectivity is a very important point. And what is the truth and what is not? And I always think that, the important thing is that having clear that you have a subjectivity that is negotiating with reality. Any way you can, from that subjective view, you can be ethical, you can capture elements of reality. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily just like an illusion you're presenting. And negotiating subjectivity, your subjectivity with other people is always problematic and is full of misunderstandings. In the past, in the 60s, it was forbidden that eventually any person involved in the production can appear in the documentary. It was like, oh wow, I saw the cameraman in the mirror in the background, and it was, today is totally the opposite. If you're not there, if you don't show that eventually you also are conscious of your role there and how your role is transforming the people there, behaviors and everything, that's a problem.